December now? Or today's the 15th, right? Fuck. Bit concerned I didn't know that. Last week was busy. I spent most of it looking for a place. I was doing viewings. I had two full days where I was just doing that. Had another thing at work. I was doing that. I seem to have, yeah, I've recovered pretty fine. Just like one giant bruise, and obviously the other scabs are still healing from the crash from not this past Friday, the Friday before that. Can't really think of anything of note. It was just really busy. It was doing something like every day, which is good. It's just annoying when a lot of that stuff was dedicated to just looking for a new place, considering it's I don't really want to be doing that. I'm only doing it because the fucking plumbing situation here, and shit beyond my control. It sucks when it's just kind of thrust upon you. It's I don't want to waste my time doing it. To me, it feels like a waste of time. Obviously, it's productive, but well, I guess now it kind of is a waste of time because the situation has kind of changed a bit, and it looks like I might end up actually staying here. The situation with the plumbing is unfortunately still the same, but other factors have come into play. So I don't know, it just kind of feels like I just lost a week. I had my first driving class. That was interesting. She had me go right onto the road. That was profound amount of faith from her. Oh my god, that was interesting. It went about as well as I thought it would go. Unsurprisingly, it's you give me all these tips, advice, things to focus on, and as the entire time I'm driving, I'm just thinking about those things, and I'm not actually driving. You know, obviously it comes with experience with the whole muscle memory and stuff like that. But it's when I'm trying to drive and I'm trying to make a turn at this intersection, I'm not really focusing on where the car is, where I am, at blah blah blah, and I'm just okay, it was clear, and then I turn. No, I'm sticking my head around trying to be am I exactly 25% past this line and blah blah blah. What are my hands doing right now? I gotta remember to blah blah blah. It's a bit of an information overload problem, but just kind of you just kind of need to let me do my thing. Stop micromanaging too much. Give me a chance to get some rhythm established or some shit. So that happened last week. That was interesting. Work stuff, viewings. Had to go buy some stuff for work. I didn't do any journal stuff actually. I took a break from that because it was a bit too much. I need to go back in, but it's been about, yeah, it's just been over a week since I made my last entry. Every now and then I've been kind of going in and making edits to some of the former ones that I just stopped around the same time I took a break. But I mean, at least I'm still doing this one. That's nice. But yeah, I took a break from that, but not entirely, because that one was supposed to be a daily kind of update of what was been happening. And again, the problem was I would start it and then I would just kind of take it and run. Just be kind of tangents about things that weren't pertinent to what happened that day. Started running about dreams, some existential stuff. It just kind of spiraled into its own thing, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It felt very nice to put something down. But again, I went into that with a certain intention, and it was not exactly being achieved, and the time that it was consuming was a bit too much. So what I ended up doing is I've now got a thing going on this phone and my computer where it's on the computer. That's my dream journal now. I go in there and I just start typing out my dream stuff. I haven't really sat down and done a full one, but it's I just write notes, and I'm going to go back and slowly add more and more to it, because most of the stuff that it's a lot of stuff, but it's they're so vivid. It's really not that hard for me to remember the details. That's not entirely true. It's certain details get swapped around, but it's kind of in real life where, I remember things a certain way, but is that actually how it happens? There's lots of filling in of gaps. I can't really trust the stuff that I remember. There's lots of convenient fabrications. The main details are still there. It's just how we got from A to B is a bit indeterminate. Um, and then on this phone, I started writing a bit more of the like the novel stuff, more than just like that pure creative writing. Um, in a sense, it kind of is like that the dream stuff I do over there, but that one I'm just like verbatim recalling like whatever the hell I've been obsessing over for the past 24 hours, and it never ceases to amaze me how I can consistently every day pump out something new that'll torment me for the next 24 to 48 hours or a week or months. Um, but the one on here is I have like a this ongoing, I want to say, narrative, and I don't mean the capacity of or the sense that oh, I have this narrative about how my life goes and all these things. No, I mean like things happen to me. You have a certain reaction to those events, and it warps your perception of things, or it kind of molds your mind a certain way. Uh, and and as that's been happening throughout the entirety of my existence or life, I kind of concocted a physical embodiment of that in my head, of like these characters and how they react. And I don't really know how to explain it in a very like concise manner, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. The point being is it's a very long and exhaustive story. um it'll be interesting to try to force myself to put it all down to paper, but that thing would, I'm trying to write the fucking Bible over here. That's, it's not actually that long. It can only be as long as the entirety of like my life up to a certain point, dude. I've been doing it for so long. But um the I want to commit a bit more to that, because I feel as though that is the most productive writing I could be doing, in the sense that it's challenging me to, well, there's like having to remember the aspects, but there's also like a lot of more like proper writing that needs to be done in there. And I don't just mean I need to ensure that it's like grammatically or correct and blah blah blah. I do mean like from a fiction standpoint of having proper symbolism and stuff like that. So that one is more like, it feels like I'm not academic, but it feels like I'm trying to write like an actual book. So I've got that one, the dream journal, and then the normal journal. Took a break from the normal one, started doing the other two, right? Again, continuing this. Um, I'm just kind of ranting right now because I didn't really have anything prepared today. I've been so mentally preoccupied, which is a good thing, but at the same time, it's, again, I'm just a bit disappointed with the what I've been occupied with. There's things that I feel are more productive to my end goals that I want to be doing, and the whole housing fiasco that has been going on for the past week has just been something to distract myself. But at least it's productive. Um, I didn't go to the gym at all last week though. It's pretty just mentally fried. Uh, it takes a lot of mental energy to even convince myself to go there. When I'm there, I never like. It's like, yeah, it's always like this Herculean effort to get there, but then I'm there and I do my thing, and it's like, it's not so bad. Honestly, it's the coming home part that I find the most exhausting. I gotta bike uphill. I usually pick up groceries too on the way. I really fucking hate cardio. Well, I've been too anxious to take my bike out again after the crash. Uh, I still don't know if it was like I'm the problem or if I need to go work on it. Which, if I do need to go work on it, I mean, I should just go work on it. I know how to fix it if there's a problem with the brakes or the what have you. But I just don't have faith in myself, and I'm lazy also. But like, I'm just paranoid uh, about nothing really. I think it's more of a like an OCD thing. Um, my mind is clearly trying to do everything in its power to prevent me from being productive, and so it's, you know, pulling out all the stops and using that as kind of like a compounding effect. Even though I don't even need that to go there, but it's and I start obsessing about the time aspect. Oh, it takes me X amount of time to get there and come back. That's a waste of time. I don't want to spend my time doing that. So this is the only means that's acceptable because it's a blah 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 blah. And it's like, every time I'm like, it's like a Russian nesting doll. I forget the proper name, and I don't want to butcher it. So, I keep opening up. A new one's presenting itself, and it just kind of keeps going on infinitely, and eventually I just get burnt out mentally, and so I give up on even trying. Which for me, I think it's funny. It's such a simple, uh, not simple. It's such an effective solution. Not simple for me to implement because I don't know people, so it's nothing for. There's no one for me to call on. But if I just have someone to go there with, it just kind of bypasses all barriers because now that I feel like if I don't go, I'm letting someone down or I'm a detriment to someone else by not, being a man of my word or what have you. I feel this insane compulsion to just go and do things. It just kind of overrides all other anxieties or concerns. Once somebody is relying on me for a thing, I have to do it. Um, yeah, so I do wish I could just have a workout partner of sorts. Be so make this so much easier. I don't have to go through all these mental gymnastics. It's so exhausting. Even though it's not, I'm just sitting here arguing with myself, but it's like, fuck. It just it feels like the pressure within my skull builds up and it's like my head's about to burst. Like I'm boiling over and I just want it to shut the fuck up and stop more than anything. So I give up because it's just not worth the effort because I'm thinking about not like, oh, this is so easy. I just need to overcome this and then I can go do it. No, I'm thinking about, okay, but what about the next time, the time after that? How many times can I deal with this before I finally give up? And then it was for all nothing. I had just spent all this time resisting. I'm not any better at resisting. I have only exhausted myself more and I'm burnt out again, blah, blah, blah. Now there's like this prolonged period of time where I'm on the bench again and I'm not doing anything and I've completely mentally imploded or whatnot. Uh, I don't get stronger with every instance. I just get whittled away more and more. I don't completely break, but it takes more. Eventually, the integrity of my structure is just so fragile. I can't even do the simple things it used to, and that's what it kind of feels like. So I usually fold because I don't feel more resistant. Uh, but it's funny though because that feeling isn't consistent with like every single day of my life. It's sometimes things kind of happen and I'm kind of given this bit of optimistic boost or something. So I don't know what causes it to happen, but I when all other things in my life are going actually well, and I'm not super paranoid about when the next terrible thing's gonna happen, which that's kind of like a big if. But if that does happen, or when it does happen, incredibly rare, then it's like the obstacles just become so irrelevant, and I kind of just go and do it because for like a second I can kind of just enjoy the moment. I wish I could be like that all the time, but I just fuck. That being said, I did force myself to at least do some stuff while I was here at home after my days. I'd go do my viewings and I'm just like walking around uphill all day or whatever, doing stuff. I come back and I'm like, okay, you're not gonna go there because you're like the multitude of reasons, which are like I don't even want to justify them by saying because they're really not valid, but they feel so real and valid in the moment. But I come back home and I force myself to do some stuff like calisthenics wise or whatnot. So I haven't been like completely off the wagon, and again I'm still out and about doing things, but kind of exhausted from last week. Um, and just disappointed that I had like a busy week, but I couldn't force myself to just go do the other thing, the productive things that I still want to be maintaining and doing. Um, but like otherwise, like ignoring like the disappointment there, it was just a week. Nothing really of note. Didn't have any major fucking mental implosions. Nothing too crazy happened. It was just really fucking busy. Um, yeah. I'm thinking about that I need to kind of restructure how I'm doing these. I think the current format doesn't really allow me to do any sort of productive elaboration. I should try to maybe limit the amount of time I'm spending surmising things at the very beginning. And then I don't want these to just be ramble for, right now it's 15 plus minutes, but, and then like nothing really is achieved during that time. The point of obviously doing these recollections is to acknowledge progress that was made that I wouldn't otherwise acknowledge because I hate myself, and then from there set goals for the next week. Drop my phone, so it should be a random cut right there. Um, this oncoming week, I got more of the driving stuff. I got to do some financial stuff, work, like actual proper work, not just me kind of like showing up and need to help training or getting the ins and outs for the new department. Should be starting up, so thank God I'll finally have some consistent money coming in. So besides that though, it's like I want to again get myself to the gym, but I'm still not like, I'm not in a spot where it's mentally easy to do. Not an excuse, but it's fuck, man. It's so fucking hard to get myself there. It's just so exhausting, wasting energy trying to get myself over this mental hurdle, because it's not like I get over the hurdle and then I'm back at a baseline. It's like, no, I mental energy is exhausted to climb that hill, and then I come back down and I no longer have that you know, I have a limited amount of energy in a day mentally, and it's, I don't get that back. And if I go through too much, then it's like I'm burnt out for the next fucking week or some shit. And it just feels like a really extreme resource manager, and it's just like, why the fuck am I limited so much on these goddamn resources? Man, I ain't trying to play this shit on the hardest fucking mode. This is bullshit. Um, so yeah, I got the work stuff, more driving stuff, bank stuff, workout stuff, which I'm gonna try. Oh, fuck, fuck, man. It's so like even just thinking about it right now, it's like I'm tweaking, I'm stressing about it. But other than that, I need to get back to finishing up my application. I still can't like fully submit or anything because I still have to go get a doctor's note. I still have to write my own letter, but like I need to do that, so I should just go and do that. I need to finish doing that little fucking resume sheet or some shit. I don't fucking understand what the purpose is, but finished it regardless. And I still gotta get my new photos I would need for the visa. And I need to start up with the fucking language and stuff. I kind of fell off. I was doing a little bit of fucking around with like the apps one now, but that's, you know. I need something that's a bit more, what am I trying to say here? Involved? I don't know, just better. That shit ain't cutting it. So that's the stuff for this upcoming week. But to pick up what I was talking about before, you know, recollect previous events, reflect on progress and other important things that I may not have recognized while the things were happening. Establish goals for the upcoming week, so I have a sort of accountability, and I need to do that. But then I also want to talk about, or sorry, I want to, because I'm gonna always be talking about it, especially since I'm becoming more and more, slightly with every video, a bit more comfortable with talking about. I say that as if I didn't just like go on the most insane tirade last time, but talking about more, you know, stuff like that. And I don't want to just like talk about it and say this is how I'm feeling, or this is what's I'm obsessing with, or this is what's bothering me, this is what's keeping me down, this is etc etc. I want to be able to take that one thing or something and iterate that for you guys, and then kind of break it down in the sense of, I am feeling like this, or I'm obsessing with this, or I'm doing this. This is what's wrong with me. these are my thoughts on it, and this is what I think I can do to resolve that, or this is what I've learned about it, or blah blah blah. Because uh, I kind of exist as this entity where there's a lot of things wrong with me in my life where I know, I'm cognizant, I'm aware, but I don't actually do anything about it. Again, I hate myself, or blah blah blah, or just whatever it might be. It very much is. It can be surmised as, coaches don't play. I, there's a lot of things where it's like, I don't want to say I know 100% this is a solution, but it's pretty good advice, and it's not just like I just fabricated this coming out of my ass. It's, I've been in the game for a long ass time, and although I'm complete dog shit at it, I haven't made any progress. I can coach, do as I say, not as I do. So there is value in that, and I want to be able to deliver that to people. Although if people actually start watching these and I actually build up a consistent audience, I guess at that point I can have people comment on things and give me something to focus on, and then I can elaborate on those issues. Maybe that'd be helpful. I think some people would be watching this and be able to recognize certain similarities and attributes in myself that they might find in themselves. They can ask about that, and I can hopefully elaborate on that and give them advice. But otherwise, I want to try to get myself to, I'm not going to formulate a script or anything. I'm always going to, riff these, but I want some consistency in the formula of how I'm delivering these. Because I do feel like a lot of these are just a gigantic waste of time. Not really for me, but for anyone who's watching. And if I didn't intend for anyone to watch them, then I wouldn't be uploading these publicly, would I? So, something to think about. But yeah, if anyone is watching this and you've made it this far, thank you. I guess in a way, I kind of hope that no one is. It takes a lot of pressure off knowing, thank God nobody's actually finishing these. My analytics on it is like, I've only had like 2 videos watched, and they all just leave at like the 2-minute mark, which is like, thank you, God. But that being said, if anyone's watching this, blah blah blah, blah, leave a comment on if there's like something specific you think I might be knowledgeable in and I could assist or elaborate on, or maybe something I don't know anything about and I can just shoot the shit. That might be productive. Who knows? Okay, I'll leave it there. Unfortunately, still a bit pretty long. I kind of hope I can get these to be a bit more bite-sized, but it is what it is. I'm not going to obsess over that too much. For now, I will see you guys next week. Take care.